With that, Ms. Carla Green, would you please begin the announcements?
Your Honor, good morning. Emily Kyla Green, attorney for the department.
Rochelle Acevedo for the mother, Vanessa Ruiz. She's not on, Judge, and I'm going to announce not ready.
I'm Sonia Diaz. I am the caseworker for Michael, please.
Judge, can you please say her name again?
Ma'am, can you say your name again? Can you say it a little slower so the court reporter can pick it up, please?
Yes, Sonia Diaz.
I renamed her for the purposes of the recording, Ms. Greenwald.
Ready for the trial, Judge. I apologize. Miss Murray sent me a link by text and it went through as a link that's not connecting to anything. And I didn't realize it until I tried to log in, so I apologize.
Okay, thank you. So Ms. Pearsall is here for Ms. Savage. All right, anybody else that needs to announce? Ms. Carla Green, how are we proceeding for trial this morning?
Your Honor, the department's ready to proceed. I'm having technical difficulties, which is really frustrating though. I've got 8 exhibits that I would like to get pre-admitted. I have sent those out to the parties. It's my understanding there's no objections, but I can't pull them up. I don't know if another party could, or if we want to proceed that way. They're pretty standard, Your Honor, but I do intend to admit them.
Judge, I don't have any objections, and maybe Ms. Kyla Green could just email it to the court since we all have copies of them.
Do you have the ability to do that, Ms. Carla Green?
I could, yes. If you give me 1 second, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Ms. Acevedo has announced not ready due to her client not being present. The mother was served back on February the 2nd of this year and has been aware of these proceedings since that time. So the court's going to overrule the not ready and proceed with trial. With that, Ms. Kyla Green, I'm sorry, Ms. Acevedo, Ms. Kyla Green has sent me the exhibits. Have you been able to review them?
I have, Judge, and I don't have any objection. But if I could put something on with regard to the reset, Judge.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, mine not ready. Judge, I've gone back and forth with this client. I think that there was a period where she was in custody. I had ordered her for mediation. I think she got out the day before. Numbers have changed. I just chased her down this morning at the Bexar County Jail. She was in County Court number 4. She didn't appear in person, but I was able to talk to her. I sent her all the Zoom information. She was sort of hot about saying she didn't get notice for this hearing. I don't necessarily know why she's not on. I did send her the login information. Our conversations were via text. Again, Judge, I had went in person to see if she had appeared. I do think that case was getting reset. I was able to speak with her through that attorney. But in that short conversation, she made it clear that she wants to be a part of this trial. So with that, I'm just reiterating that not ready, Your Honor. If the court intends to overrule that not ready, Judge, I did review all of the exhibits and I don't have any objection.
Okay. Our dismissal date is January the 29th. I'm just looking at the notes from August, and mother's at that time was living in an abandoned home, which I think she's been that's been her situation throughout this case. I guess I'm just wondering if if this trial were to be reset so that mom could participate. I mean, based on my knowledge of the case, I don't have a whole lot of confidence that she's going to show up to the next setting either. But if she's telling you that she wants to be a part of it, I've at least got to take that into consideration. What's your response, Ms. Kyla Green?
I'm kind of on the same page as you, Your Honor. I don't know if in the next 2 months something's going to change with the mom and make her communicate. She is not communicating with us. She has not communicated with us in quite some time in any real manner. I know that the department has made efforts to track her down when she's been incarcerated, but even when she's released, there's no contact being made. I don't mind waiting 2 months, I guess, or sometime in the next 2 months, but I don't know if it's different.
Ms. Pearsall, did Ms. Savage give you any indication of where she stood with any of this?
Yes, Judge, she feels the child is in a very good placement and needs permanency. And quite frankly, mom has had forever and has done absolutely nothing. And honestly, whether she cares or not, in Ms. Savage's opinion, this court is going to make exactly the same order. And so she is ready to proceed to trial. Also, Judge, based on past history, I don't know how long mom will be in Bear County Jail, but I'm sure the minute she's out, she will be, missing and not interested in showing up. So I feel like if the court, one, I don't think the court needs to reset it, but two, if the court chooses to be extra kind and reset it, I think it needs to be reset like immediately so mom doesn't, just run away again as soon as she's out of jail.
Well, what I'm looking at, she's incarcerated. Ms. Acevedo, you met with her this morning and she told you she wanted to participate, correct?
No, Judge, just for clarification, in preparation for trial, I saw that she had a court date.
Oh,
because
that's a court date.
So
That's
I
right.
physically came to find her here. She wasn't personally here, but I did find her criminal attorney who put me in touch with her. So she's not in custody. I had conversations via telephone and text.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. She communicated to you that she wanted to participate in trial, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Miss Diaz, is the child safe and in a good placement?
Yes, Judge, he is.
Do you believe that the child's best interests are going to be harmed in any way if the court were to reset this to allow mom to participate in trial within the next month?
You may go ahead and give mom a chance, but I mean, I really don't see mom moving forward.
Well, I'll take that up in a minute. What I'm asking, Ms. Diaz, what I'm asking is the child going to be in any danger? Is there going to be any issues with the child as far as the child's best interest if this case does not go to trial today, but goes to trial in a month? And your answer is no. Okay. Because this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about case law, which requires a parent to have a meaningful opportunity to participate in their trial. And Ms. Acevedo has informed the court this morning that Ms. Ruiz wants to participate in this trial. I don't have a lot of confidence that she's going to do that, but I'm going to be cautious from an appellate standpoint, and I'm going to make sure that she has a meaningful opportunity to participate in this trial. So I'm going to reset it to December the 7th at 10:30 a.m. It's December 7th, 2023 at 10:30 in the morning. I am ordering the mother, Vanessa Ruiz, to appear for her trial on December the 7th, 2023 at 10:30. If she is not here, I am moving forward. I will not reset it again. And we will proceed to trial without her. In the meantime, Ms. Kyler Green, that'll give you the opportunity to present your exhibits in the usual fashion during the hearing, rather than emailing them to me, which I think is probably more appropriate.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Acevedo, please make sure you meet with your client between now and then to determine whether or not there's any other solution to this problem. And if there's not, at least you're meeting with her to prepare for trial and let her know that I'm moving forward and I don't care if she's not here. I'm giving her one more chance to participate and then it's over. Anything else that we need to take up this morning?
No,
All
yeah.
right, that'll be the order of the court. All other orders remain in effect. Thank you all for your time. This recorded in Uvalde County, Texas. Ms. Kyler Green, would you please begin the announcements?
Good morning, Emily Kyler Green, attorney for the department.
Vanessa de los Santos, permanency specialist with Belong.
Richard Sullivan, attorney for the child. Ready?
Okay, I reviewed the report. Looks like she's doing pretty well in her facility. She's working. Or at least she was at the time you filed the report. Is all that still the same?
Yes, it is.
And she is going to cosmetology school or wants to go to cosmetology school?
She does want to go to cosmetology school, and PALS did provide her with like the mannequin hand and some nail stuff to get her started on that stuff.
Okay. All of her medical needs are being met?
Yes, she is up to date on her medical and dentals.
All right. And considering this, her premise equals independent living, correct?
Yes.
She's in the least restricted placement available?
Yes, she is.
And she's got access to transportation and all of those types of things?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. She's able to, your report reflects that she's able to contact folks about her immigration status if she needs to.
Yes, she has her attorney's number and contact information.
All right. And that permanent resident card hasn't come in since you filed your report, has it?
No.
Okay. So you're asking to continue in her placement, which you're saying is appropriate, correct?
Yes.
And then we have a 12/11/23 dismissal date. So you want to hold an extended foster care review hearing prior to that date? Or does this one work?
Yes. Well, this one would work. I just didn't know if we were going to get another one before
Okay.
her 21st birthday.
I don't think we do we?
I don't think so, Your Honor, but also it's my understanding, Ms. De Los Santos, you can talk about this, that she actually intends on leaving even earlier than that.
Why don't you tell me what her plans are, Ms. De Los Santos?
She plans to leave about a week before her 21st birthday. She does have a friend who is going to be driving down with a U-Haul, pack up her stuff, and she's going to be living in Minneapolis with him.
Minneapolis?
Yes, that is where she said she is going.
She have a coat?
That was actually on her Christmas list, so with some snow.
She's gonna need a thick one.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're asking for the court to order trial independence if she leaves to expire 12 months after the date she leaves care or her 21st birthday.
First birthday. Yes.
Ms. Carla Green, any other questions?
Yes, Shauna, thank you. The placement she's in currently also, or not placement, excuse me, the apartment that she's in, at Seton Home, it also, her son is with her.
Yes, he is.
And have you been able to ascertain whether or not she's capable and caring for him adequately?
I believe she is.
Okay. And her plans include her son's best interest?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Saldivar?
Just briefly, Judge, just for the court's knowledge, what was the reason why she came back into care?
She kind of realized that it wasn't as easy as she had thought it was going to be.
Okay, and is the department aware of the issues that she was having and maybe can help her through those so that she doesn't have to come back into care?
As in like her living situation and her having a job.
Yeah, any resources the department can give her to assist her with those issues?
Oh, yes.
Okay, and she did make me aware that her work permit was lost. She lost her wallet on a bus. Can the department assist her applying for another replacement work visa?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, nothing further, Judge. Pass the witness.
What are your thoughts, Mr. Saldivar?
Judge, I think that where she's at right now is meeting her needs and the child's needs. I know she did mention that she was going to leave care whenever that friend with the U-Haul comes around. So I did let her know that if she needed anything, she can always call me or reach out to the department. The main thing right now, I think she definitely needs to reapply for that her work permit, because that's her only form of ID that she can show that she has some kind of legal status. So she said she did try to reach out to the immigration attorney. So if the department could just follow up, make sure that application gets in, because they are delayed right now. Other than that, I don't have any other concerns. But Ms. De Los Santos is correct. She was just struggling with the baby, and that's why she came back into care.
Is the child up to date on everything? Do you know, Ms. De Los Santos?
Yes, he is. I do receive his medical stuff as well from Seton.
All right, then for the purposes of the services review, court finds that the assay returned to care and I am so sorry. This case has been on my docket for 3 years, and I've heard it Dassy and Daisy. What does she want it to be pronounced as?
When she introduced herself to me, she said Dassy.
Dassy.
I go by Dassy too, Judge.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. I'll find that she returned to care on get back to that part of the report. I want to make sure that the date, August 8th, 2023, she is living in Seton Home, and that placement is safe and appropriate, meeting her and her son's needs. She is working 25 hours a week. It's the least restrictive placement available for she and her son, for her and her son, excuse me, and that she has all of her needs met, transportation, childcare. I'm going to order the department to, or belong, excuse me, to just assist her with applying for another work permit as much as you can. And then I'll order that if she chooses to leave care again, when the U-Haul shows up for Minneapolis, that the court will extend jurisdiction for 12 months following her exit from care or her 21st birthday, whichever comes first. And the court will order trial independence that expires 12 months after that date or her 21st birthday. You know, one thing I want to make sure, Mr. Saldivar and Ms. De Los Santos, that we remember, what was her country of origin? It was South America, correct?
I believe so, Judge.
Yeah, it was a South American country, and I remember some of the issues we had when she came into care, where the culture of her family was very different than what she's used to here. And I feel like she's realized how hard it is to have a child, to parent a child on your own. But I feel like what I know about her and what I've learned about her over the last few years is that she's not big on trying to get help until she absolutely needs it. I feel like her culture, that where she came from, did not foster the idea of getting help as much as I wish it did. And one of the things that I've heard some of the teens and young 20s say on these panels is that they wish that when they turned 18 that they weren't turned out, and that there was more support for them as young adults, because it's the hardest period of their life. She's got a child, she's 20 years old. So I want to do, and obviously, Mr. Saldivar, whatever you need to do, you know, the court will sign your bills for whatever you need to do for her. But I want to make sure that we continue to provide the service to her. And I'm willing to meet with her if I need to. I'm concerned about her going to Minneapolis. I won't lie. That's really concerning for me. She's an adult. She can make that choice if she wants to. But I just want her to know that all of this stuff is available to her for a while. And moving to Minneapolis with a baby, with a friend, I'm concerned about that. That concerns me a lot, but it is what it is. Ms. Kyler Green, is there anything else that I need to address?
Your Honor, I would say if you can make findings on the reasonable efforts by Belong.
I will find that Ms. De Los Santos Belong has made reasonable efforts towards achieving the permanency goal and assisting with Dassy of coming back into care and making sure she had the resources available to her and her child, and helping her with the work issues and the transportation issues and things of that nature to make sure that she can be as independent as possible. And the cosmetology school resources that were provided.
Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. Okay, thank you all for your time and your service. If nothing further, I'll close the excuse.
Yes, good morning. Emily Kyler Green, attorney for the department.
Victoria Gonzalez, adoption caseworker.
Ashley Couch, Belong Permanency Supervisor.
Irene Acosta, attorney for Nikisha and Jesus.
Ms. Acosta, any objection to the court hearing this case from Kendall County?
No objection, Judge.
All right, let's talk about Nikisha and Jesus. Permanency goal for Nikisha, APLA, permanency goal for Jesus, alternative family unrelated adoption, correct?
Yes.
They're both in different placements than they were the last time we were here due to, looks like, several issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jesus was moved 7/18. Nikisha was moved 9/16, I think. 9/16. Are those placements safe and appropriate, meeting their needs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or is it in the best interest of each of them to continue in their placement?
It is.
And are the least restricted placements possible?
At this time, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Both of them are up to date on their medical and dental,
Yes.
and their psychotropic reviews are up to date,
Yes.
and they're both in therapy.
Yes, they are.
Are they? I know they're in therapy. Or do you believe that they're actively engaging in it?
Yes, Your Honor, they are. They're both actively engaged in therapy, group and individual, weekly.
Nikisha had a circle of support.
Yes, she did on September 11th of 2023.
Jesus have his? I missed that part.
Yes, Your Honor, he did have a circle of support as well on
Okay.
9/26 of 2023.
Do you believe that they are aware of what's available to them and were able to get their questions answered through the circle of support?
I do believe so.
How much contact have the two of them had between each other since we were here in June?
The children have not had much contact. They are having a sibling visit today. Due to Nikisha being in her psychiatric hospital and Jesus frequently running away, they have not had a lot of contact.
Have they both been able to express their wants and desires to you as to their placement?
I do believe so, Your Honor. I would have to ask Miss Brianna.
Have any other family members come forward since we were here last?
Not that I'm aware of.
How are Jesus's behaviors? Are you aware?
From what I've been told, he's been doing well. He did have an incident while at school on August 28th. He got into an altercation with another child that is actually placed at his current, at the current RTC that he's at. He got in a fight with him, broke his nose, and has been in DAEP. However, this is the last week that he should be in DAEP. So he should be able to return to regular classes on Monday.
What about Nikisha's behaviors?
Nikisha has been doing well in school as well. She's currently on an academic plan. They're really hoping to get her up to date with all her credits that she was missing. She also had an ARD on October 30th, and she was recommended instructional testing, inclusion support, and behavioral accommodations.
Do you believe that both of their educational needs are being met?
Yes, Your Honor.
What about, are we in any kind of anywhere close to driver's license for either one of them? Are we even able to talk about that right now, considering all this other stuff?
I'm not sure about the driver's license. I was told that Jesus got his ID on October 31st. But as far as the driver's license, I'm not aware.
What about Nikisha?
Nikisha, from what I was told, she does have her Social Security, her birth certificate, and her ID.
Have either one of them discussed what they plan on doing in the future? Or, I mean, they're having so many issues right now. I'm not sure how much of that is being discussed, but I'm just curious as to what their plans are.
Your Honor, that has not been discussed with me personally, so I don't know.
Okay. Questions, Ms. Carly Green?
Thank you, Honor. Ms. Gonzalez, I know you said that with the ARD and her, oh my gosh, Nikisha's educational needs are being met, but with all the issues with like the self-harm and the suicidal ideations, are there any other actions being taken for her mental health besides just the psychotropic review?
She is also actively participating in therapy outside of.
And is that okay? Is that specifically for these mental health issues she's having?
I want to say that they are addressed in therapy, but I have not seen any therapy notes myself.
Okay, is that something that we can just make sure is are requested just to ensure that she's really got eyes on her?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I understand you said there's not much contact between the siblings. Is that because the change of placement, or is that just because so many issues are happening with the kids individually?
From what I was told, it was because of the issues that we're having with the kids individually. However, we are hoping to get the visits back on track. There are visits scheduled for November through December at this time.
And I know that you stated before that no family members have come forward. Are there any other efforts that you're aware of that were being made or that are being made to have some sort of relative adoption, at least for Jesus?
As far as relatives, not that I'm aware of. I do know that he is on TARE, he's on TAP, and he is on Tuesday Treasures, where we broadcast him to different families.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Acosta?
I have no questions, Judge, just my report and to address the court.
Go ahead.
I'm concerned about both Nikisha and Jesus. I've spoken with Nikisha, and I mean, when I speak to her, she seems upbeat. She says that she is having a few problems. She does revert back to being depressed sometimes. She thinks about her family. She wants to have contact with her mother. And so I did let her know that I would let the court know that. But at this point, I don't know if anyone even knows where her mother is. The last time I saw her was when she still had her rights intact. And so even at that point, it wasn't, she wasn't very engaged in anything having to do with the case or the kids. So I don't know how beneficial that contact would be, even if someone were to get into contact with the mother. But I did want to let you know that that is something that she has requested. I would like to see more therapy notes for both of them. I feel like I know right now Jesus is at a stable place, but he was having a lot of incidents of running off and just putting himself in situations that aren't safe. And the incident in August with him punching a boy in the face, I'm worried that moving forward, he's going to have just more entanglements with law enforcement if behaviors like that continue. So I would just request that their therapies be monitored more closely, and that all of the therapy notes be shared with the parties so that we're aware of everything moving forward. Nikisha did also mention that she does not want to be in the same placement as her brother. She feels like they have grown to a point where she just thinks it's probably best if they're not in the same placement. Just for the court's knowledge.
What about visitation?
To my knowledge, she does want to visit with her brother. She does want contact with him. It's just, it was my understanding that just being placed in the same placement, she doesn't think that it's possible. And maybe it's because they were placed together before and they haven't been placed together in such a long time. She's looking at more of what she needs to do to get herself in a stable situation. And I haven't had very much input from Jesus about what he wants with regard to being placed or not placed with his sister, but I think it's important for both of them to just get stable on their own.
Okay. Thank you. Then for the purposes of the permanency review after final order, the court finds that the permanency goals of APLA for Nikisha and alternative family unrelated adoption for Jesus are appropriate. In their best interest, court finds that they're both up to date on their medical, dental, vision checks. They're both in weekly therapy, which is appropriate. As far as the therapy, I am going to order, just let's keep a close eye on that, and then let's have monthly exchange of those therapy notes so that everybody knows what's going on. I'll find that their placements, their psychotropic reviews are up to date, and that their placements are the least restricted placements possible. They're appropriate, meeting their needs, and in their best interest to continue. They both have the opportunity to express their wants and desires as to placement, and no other family members have come forward at this time. I'll find their educational needs are being met, and that Belong has made reasonable efforts in making sure that they both have their ID, or at least working on an ID for Jesus, or he has the ID and Nakisha has her ID. Does he have his birth certificate and his social as well, Ms. Gonzalez? I know she does, but does he? And if you don't know, it's not crucial at this time, but I would like to make sure he has his as well. I made the order as to therapy, and I'll find that reasonable efforts include keeping the sibling visits going and making sure that they both had their circle of support. Our next hearing is going to be April the 4th, 2024 at 11:30. April 4th, 2024 at 11:30.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm just requesting that you make further findings for reasonable efforts in regards to, I think it was Jesus, who's on Tear Tap and Tuesday Treasures.
Oh, yes. So ordered.
Thank you.
So found. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Okay. Well, I know I've said it before, but if they decide they want to talk to me for any reason, I'm available.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Nothing further. All parties are excused. Thank you. Uvalde County is currently experiencing a courtroom crisis, and do not have any court space for us. So I am holding court via Zoom, broadcasting on YouTube from Uvalde County, Kendall County. Is there any objection?
No objection.
No objection.
If we have an option to not be live, I would request that we not be live. I don't think it's in the best interest of the children for this hearing to be live.
All right. I'm not sure that I can turn off the live stream because of public access, unless there's a specific reason. So let's go into a breakout room and I'll let you explain to me what it is, and then we'll see what we can do before we do announcements real quick.
Thank you.
You all haven't announced yet, have you?
No, Judge.
Okay, why don't we do announcements first before we do anything else? Ms. Kyler Green.
Thank you. I'm Kyler Green, attorney for the department. Ms. Ramos?
Daniela Ramos, caseworker on the case.
Ana Suelo, attorney and guardian ad litem for the children.
Ms. Swallow, you have a request regarding a closed proceeding. Could you make that request on the record, please?
Yes, Judge, thank you. I'm respectfully requesting that this hearing be held closed and not broadcast live due to the sensitivity issues that are going to come up regarding one of the children that new developments have arisen within the last 24 hours. And I do not believe it's in her best interest to have her information broadcast over YouTube due to safety concerns. This is a PMC case, and I do not know who's listening, and I'm concerned for her. If individuals who receive information that they should not have, it'll be a threat to her safety, in my opinion.
Any objection, Ms. Kyler Green?
No objection. Thank you.
Okay. Then based on for the potential safety issues and the sensitive nature of the information and being so recent, court finds there is good cause to limit these proceedings and make them a closed proceeding. So I will grant the request and in the YouTube live stream now, and we will move forward as if we were in a courtroom.